not something that I believe. It's complete and utter nonsense. Okay? Just because someone is an IDF vet or a veteran in general, if they're in a hospital bed or if they're fucking living out their days, that doesn't make them a valid military target.
For now, this part of Hebron is a military zone, and nobody at all is allowed past the Israeli lines.
This is Armed Settlers and Segregation Inside the West Bank, a new Sky News documentary that just came out 16 hours ago. No politics here. Israel number one. No Palestine, no Palestine. No Palestine here. No politics here. Bro, they do this shit so much. It's like these things are marginal in comparison to, like, obviously the death and destruction campaign in Gaza, but this is a part of everyday existence for Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. These guys are, one, illegally occupying the West Bank, for the record. And they do this shit on a daily basis. If you like, there are a million videos like this where they just like go into a storefront and just fuck it up and demand the phones of every single Palestinian there. They go through their social media to look for things that they can find that they can arrest them on, like any sort of sympathy or any sort of like mention. These are images not dissimilar to the Gestapo harassing random fucking citizens and packing up Jewish people in Nazi Germany. There is little to none armed resistance against these fucking freaks, for the record.
Behind a lie.
Even though they are terrorists, they are in direct violation of international law, and it is legal. It is literally legal if every single Palestinian there took up arms and started actively fighting against those terrorists, the Israeli occupying force. That is literally legal and moral. Okay? Understand, no matter what all of your previous social conditioning has taught you, understand that what they are doing, regardless of the state violence that they're doing here, what they're doing is illegal. Racist? Why use a racist voice to mock Israelis? I don't know. Because it's funny. They're doing a genocide. Does that hurt your fucking feelings? I agree with you, but I don't think legality is the issue. No, I'm just explaining to people that, like, what they think is legal is obviously seeing armed military members of the state, members of the fucking military, members of the police force. And automatically we're conditioned into thinking like, oh, what they're doing is a legal thing. Maybe it's racist, but it's like still a legal occupation. It's not. It is completely illegal. This is not like a member of the police force like being of racist to a citizen. This is like even beyond that. That is abhorrent. That is fucked up. That should be prosecuted. But this is a step beyond that.
Green screen, the visitors arrive in small groups to look at a tomb up the street. The Palestinian city of Hebron is in what is known as Area A of the West Bank. It means it's technically under the full control of the...
That chatter literally said, why you no love Israel? You are being racist. Like, why use racist voice to mock Israelis? I don't know, because it's a fucking Nazi country doing Nazi shit. You're like a German that comes in here and gets in their feelings when I'm doing like a bad German accent.
But everyone here says the presence of Israeli soldiers and settlers is designed to make a point, to emphasize who's really in charge. This is a journey around the West Bank. And inevitably it starts at the wall separating Israel from its Palestinian neighbors. It is imposing and is in many ways a symbol of Israel's desire to segregate the people who live on the other side from them. The wall was built over 2 decades ago to stop Palestinian terror attacks inside Israel after a wave of violence. But there is more than a wall to all of this. The West Bank and its people would make up the lion's share of a Palestinian state if one were to be recognized. Geographically, It's on the west bank of the River Jordan, which is where it gets its name from. Current political leadership in Israel does not want a Palestinian state, and the Israeli parliament just approved a motion to annex the West Bank. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll happen, but it shows the thinking.
Like any kind of violence that Israeli settlers or the Israeli military experiences in the West Bank is literally legal, okay? It is legal resistance against an occupying military force. I cannot repeat this enough. Just like any kind of violence that the Israeli occupying force experiences in the Gaza Strip is actually, once again, totally legal and totally moral resistance by the Palestinians. Doesn't matter if they're the Al-Aqsa Brigade, doesn't matter if they're a part of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, doesn't matter if they're DFLP, PFLP, or even former Fatah militants, okay? It is perfectly legal, perfectly valid, and perfectly moral, okay? 100%. This is not like this is not a gray area. This is black and white, okay? It doesn't get more black and white than this. Israel's in the wrong. Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank, 2 crimes in and of itself. And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids. The violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal, okay? It's just the truth, straight up. It doesn't matter that they look to be in garb that makes you think that they're in the right, okay?
And right now, life is tough for Palestinians in the West Bank. They say they feel powerless. Random military operations, security checks and barriers restricted movement can happen anywhere and at any time, making normal movement impossible. There's the continuous threat of attacks by settlers who believe the land is theirs, and roads to villages and towns are barricaded. The building of iron gates that close off vehicle entry and exit to Palestinian communities has dramatically increased since the October the 7th Hamas attacks on Israel that led to the Gaza Wall. These gates are monitored 24 hours a day.
This situation is so fucked up that even when like liberal or right-wing Western outlets try to like present it as like a nuanced and complex political situation, I think the takeaway from people is just utter horror. Like the average person sees it and they're like, what do you mean? What nuance, bro? This is fucking insane. Like you can't frame this in a way that is like justifiable for Israel at all. Oh, this. So if I started saying shit like Hasan is Hamas propagandist and therefore a legit military target, which by the way, he does say that. What? He says that every day, which I do not believe. Everyone is going to be okay with that. This is the 4th time a leftist Twitch streamer has explicitly called for me or Hila's death. Nobody has been reprehended for these death threats by Twitch, not once. I've never called for a death threat against Ethan Klein or Hila Klein. That is insane, and he knows that that's bullshit. He's just actively trying to victimize himself. For comparison, on YouTube, Bad Empanada played an FPS game where he played Hamas and murder Israelis. He simulated murdering Hila in a game, resulting in a week-long suspension. I don't even think that happened. It's not something that I believe. It's complete and utter nonsense. You're literally getting drama farmed. Holy fuck, no one cares about these losers. Stop giving them time. I mean, if they're trying to actively try to get me banned, I think it's important to address that. What? Even the Nazis weren't this blatant? This is just far beyond the pale. It's actually unbelievable. Honestly, think you could perfectly justify attacking and killing Hasan IRL for statements like this. Wow. My cyber stalker cult community leader is saying that it's justifiable to attack and kill me in real life. Definitely actionable, I'm pretty sure. It's also weird. Like, I know this is the original clip, but where is the clip that was clipped out of context to demand my banning? Because this is I know this was like a couple days ago. In the West Bank, doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids, the violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth. Straight up. Yeah, this is international law. It could be everyone's favorite content creator. If they are, it could be anybody. Anyone that joins the Israeli occupying force and goes on a raid to the West Bank, which is illegally occupied by the state of Israel under international law, an act of violent resistance against that occupying force is legal. This is not like a matter of, this is not a matter of like, oh, I can't believe you're saying this thing. It's just international law. See, it's content. All they want is content. I know. There's no engaging with a person that has spent the last 6 years actively coming after me. Devil's advocate, you didn't clarify that it was during that time. They interpreted it as now a target for what she did then. No, there is no devil's advocate. This is the clip. This is the context. In the West Bank. I'm saying it. In the West Bank. Under international law, armed resistance against the occupying power is legal. Okay? It's just legal. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. Ethan Klein himself has in the past said exactly this. This statement is not even remotely controversial. Not gonna lie, I was gonna say you might get a ban for this until you play the clip. Literally more context in theirs. You say in the West Bank. Yes. They are counting on people just believing them and being bad faith towards you. I don't think people actually watch or understand your words, to be honest. Why are you wasting your stream on this? Hire a lawyer and sue the fuck out of them. It doesn't work that way. But it is remarkable that like this immediately gets base boosted, 7.5K upvotes, and not a single person is like going, what are you talking about? Not only name drop the former IDF secretary living in the US. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you are participating in an illegal raid in the West Bank, in the process of said raid, the Palestinians have a legal right to resist. They believe you said violence against HK right now, not when she's doing illegal raids is acceptable. You didn't say this. The context is in the clip, but everyone is just going along with it. There is no point where I have said violence against someone who is not actively in combat is permissible. I don't believe that. That is illegal. This is not, and also immoral. It's a big part of the reason why I also advocate against what Israel is doing. I have also specified that IDF veterans are not valid military targets. Okay? Just because someone is an IDF vet or a veteran in general, if they're in a hospital bed or if they're fucking living out their days, that doesn't make them a valid military target. Do you think that these content creators believe that you made an active death threat, or are they being intentionally obtuse? I think some are being intentionally obtuse. I mean, that subreddit is directly owned by someone who billed himself as Destiny's top orbiter. That's the reason why they do that. That's the reason why they use that subreddit as a jump off point. And while under normal circumstances, I think the influence of the subreddit because of that has gone away, they still sometimes have a tendency to make impact like this, I guess. And people are not watching the video or trying to understand why it's clipped the way it is. Back in the day, the meta used to be clipping someone out of context to make it seem like they're saying something that they're not saying. Nowadays, they don't even, yeah, this is the guy who owns the subreddit now. This guy on the right. Former Twitch staff, by the way. I've been in here for all the clip streams of the last 4 years, and so, dude, this is the most pathetic one. They just clip something they disagree with. You aren't saying anything wrong here. Yeah. And also, Ethan himself has agreed with me. Yeah.
Settlers in the West Bank are religious zealots. They're monsters. They're genocidal. I've even said the West Bank settlers are valid military targets. When you talk about like colonial settlers and stuff, like that's what's actually happening in the West Bank right now. And these people are more or less valid military targets, in my opinion. But it's not rocket science.
Let's get back to the IDF. You said the IDF is maybe not a terror organization, but the IDF is a terror organization.
I didn't say that. Wrong.
Through and through.
Wrong. Again, a liar.
Okay, so you think the IDF is a terror organization?
I said yes.
You believe the IDF is a terror? Okay.
I think it's fair to characterize them that way.
You're confused because it doesn't make sense? Like trying to understand the lady who's obsessed with her psychiatrist doesn't add up? I know, but there's so much motion behind it. You know what I mean? That's crazy. It is what it is, I guess. The resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth. And
No, it's not. If somebody attacks Hila Klein, they're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, no shit, you fucking moron. I'm talking about in her participation in an illegal raid in the West Bank. Oh, God. No, it's not. Yeah, of course if someone were to attack Hila Klein right now, of course they should go to jail. What kind of fucking idiocy is this? Oh, my God.
Why is he telling people this? Oh. Why would he be what is wrong with you? Do you think he'll get banned for this? At this point, I don't think so. I think that Twitch just doesn't care. I do. I think that Twitch they're so ideologically captured by...
Yeah, Twitch is so woke. That's why they fucking never ban your bitch ass, dude. I don't know if they're actually intentionally obtuse or they're this stupid. Yeah, it's just every time I get like positive press or something, these guys go gung-ho and try to find any way to like actively get the internet communities to stir up some panic with the most ridiculous, intentionally obtuse, malicious smears. But I mean, the death threat thing, like actively demanding that I get killed is actually a bridge too far, I think.
Like, I don't know what to do. I don't. He wants in on the lawsuit? I guess so. I mean, like, he's making a direct call for violence. A direct and immediate call for violence against people that are American citizens. That's insane. Oh my God. Yeah, now you come to that conclusion. Well, I mean, no, I've said that before. I mean, I have. And so, yeah, make a post like with Alpha Mike. Let's share it. Yeah, I think that's something Ethan should report to the FBI. Honestly, yeah.
It is pretty crazy, though. It's going to get you even more lost souls to convince the more jingoistic they go. Don't give them the satisfaction or even being seemingly worked up. They get even more feral. You've done nothing wrong. No, I know. I think he's just trying to throw shit at a wall to see what sticks.
Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I think that, like, I mean, at this point, like, you have, like, it's domestic terror. Yeah, I mean, report what? Report that you have a person that's on a platform that's making an open call for violence and insinuating that one specific person should be a victim to that.
I mean, we just watched, like, the Roblox shit, right? Of online communities that are like radicalized to do random acts of violence. And here you have Destiny's community actively pushing, like Destiny using his community to actively come after me in a violent way. Streamer Destiny, Stephen Kenneth Bonald II, is attempting to incite his audience to attack, kill Hassan Piker in real life for arguing that Palestinians should be allowed to defend themselves against war criminals breaking into their homes to kidnap them in the middle of the night. Honestly, I think you could perfectly justify attacking and killing Hassan for IRL statements like this. People are saying, Destiny, this is just so far beyond the pale, it's actually unbelievable. Pepe, say less. Put me in. Cinema. Destiny, say no more. Salute. Okay, never mind. I'm re-Googling all this shit because I was under the impression that heritability literally just refers to general pattern observed between parent option. Okay. Destiny, holy shit, does this grant me moral authority to do it? Will Asmongold talk about how unacceptable this is? Probably not, considering that he himself is talking about how this should be like my accurate assessment of international law in the process of an illegal raid that an occupational force is conducting on an occupied peoples that is illegally occupied is what he perceives as a death threat. I fucking hate this industry, man. It really sucks. To be honest, the fact that you even discuss his manners and maturity. You have interviewed opposition leaders to heads of state and ranking politicians. Yet you keep talking about this terminally online gossip, slop entertainment. Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but the terminally online gossip, slop entertainment is being used as a vehicle to try to deplatform me for doing exactly that. And not only that, but also it has led to people issuing active death threats to their communities against me. So I think it's a little bit different than just like immature online gossip slop. At what point does it turn into like a real crime? I think this is the point where it has turned into a real crime. But will you consider it to be something beyond online gossip slop when I either get deplatformed or when I get killed, potentially, by a psychotic cult fan? I mean, that's a death threat. If I can't be upset about an active death threat, what can I be upset about if an active death threat is considered gossip slop online?